Hello, Angelou class. Hope that you're all doing well and staying safe. In this week's Read Aloud, we had gotten to Merlin creating a gigantic round table which had the names of all of the knights on it, and we had then gone to a wedding party between Arthur and Guinevere. Somebody had arrived and presented Arthur as a gift a ring that had belonged to his father, King Uther. And she said that she was the daughter of Lady Igraine, who was also Arthur's mother, and that her name was Morgana. Morgana, stuttered Arthur. Then I'm your brother, and you're my sister, and he couldn't think what else to say. So he helped Morgana to stand up and gave her a hug. The silence was broken as everybody in the great hall started talking at once. Arthur insisted that Morgana sat next to him, and he talked to her so much that his food went cold. At last, Guinevere managed to get his attention. You're ignoring the other guests. It's bad manners, she said. I've got lots more questions I want to ask, said Arthur. Then they must wait for another time, said Guinevere. Tomorrow, Arthur told Morgana. You are staying the night, aren't you? Stay for a few days. You can come and live here if you like. There's plenty of room. When the meal was over, the dancing began, led by Arthur and Guinevere. Morgana is amazing, Arthur said. When she talks about my mother and father, it's as though I can see them standing in front of me. It's like magic. In another part of the hall, Kay sat alone, staring at Arthur and Guinevere as they danced. Kay had drunk so much wine that he hardly noticed Morgana when she sat in the chair next to his. Aren't you Sir Kay, the king's foster brother? She asked. Yes, that's right, said Kay, without taking his eyes off Arthur and Guinevere. He used to be my squire. Now look at him. He's got it all. The crown of Britain, a beautiful wife, a fine castle. You sound jealous, said Morgana. Kay turned angrily. He was going to tell Morgana to mind her own business, but before he could speak, she smiled at him. It was such a wonderful smile that Kay's anger vanished. Why should I be jealous of Arthur when I am talking to the most beautiful lady in Camelot? He said. Morgana did spend the night in the castle, but she didn't sleep. Long after everyone else had gone to bed, she stayed by the window in her bedroom. Her shutters were open, and moonlight shone on the water bowl she held. Morgana lifted the bowl and breathed on the water. First it went misty, but when the mist cleared, Morgana could see a picture of Kay. He was asleep on top of his bed, fully dressed. You fool, whispered Morgana. In the morning you'll think about me, and before long you won't be able to think about anything else. She smiled as she spoke. It was an evil smile, and Kay would have shuddered if he had been able to see it. Chapter 12 is called Lancelot. When the wedding feast was over, knights came to Camelot. Some had been invited to be knights of the Round Table, others were hoping to be invited. Among them was Sir Lancelot of the Lake, and when Arthur heard that Lancelot was at Camelot, he was amazed. Although born in Britain, Lancelot had grown up in France and had become a knight there. He was the greatest knight in France. Some said that he was the greatest knight in the world. He thinks too much of himself, if you ask me, said Kay. I think he's shy, said Gawain. No one wants to talk to him because they're frightened of offending him and getting into a fight. I don't understand why he wants to be a Knight of the Round Table, said Arthur. King Lucius of France must have sent him to spy on us, Kay said angrily. Send him away. Oh, I got a better idea, Gawain said to Arthur. If you want to know why he's here, why don't you ask him? Lancelot was surprised when King Arthur sent for him early the next morning. When he entered the great hall, he had another surprise because Arthur was alone and dressed in ordinary clothes instead of a crown and royal robes. What does Arthur plan to do? Find out next week.